Hello, I'm Duke Walker, and I serve as the chaplain to the beloved people of Lanier Village Estates. And it's great to be back with you today and offering up this fresh word from Psalm 27:4. Seems we all have a lot of questions right now, and reasonably so. When will this be over? When will we be able to freely move about again? And some of the more deeper questions that we maybe don't focus on so much, like, do I really have to be afraid just because I'm in the most vulnerable categories? Today, I hear the psalmist asking a different question, maybe a question that will help refresh, reset the questions that we're asking. Especially during this time when we're facing increasingly great boredom. I find my questions tend to increase when the boredom keeps happening. He says in Psalm 27:4, "One thing I ask." There's a lot riding on what he says next. What could he possibly be willing to put everything on? What question would be the most important for him? The psalmist asks, "Lord, may I dwell in your house all the days of my life." All the days, the good days, the days when the king was coronated, the bad days when the enemies were after him, the ugly days when his sin had wreaked havoc in his life. We could even add the pandemic days. May I dwell in the house of the Lord all the days of my life. But why does he ask this question? The psalmist has lived long enough to know he cannot control everything in life, and at times not even himself. But he's discovered that life looks different when looking on it from within the house of the Lord. He knows living in the house of the Lord makes the world look different. The good days, the bad days, the ugly days. Things look different from within the house of the Lord. He's not looking at the world through rose-colored glasses. He looks at the world through the beauty of the Lord. He says he wants to dwell in the house of the Lord because he wants to gaze on the beauty of the Lord and to seek God in his temple. What's our perspective during this pandemic? You notice this strange angle that we've got going this morning. Sometimes we need a perspective change. Our questions typically are asked from our own perspective, but the psalmist asks for a different perspective, to see life from within the temple. Are we looking at the pandemic from within it? Or are we looking out on it from within the temple of God through the beauty of the Lord? Now, I have as much difficulty as anyone else who's hearing this today keeping a godly perspective. But I want to hear the psalmist again today and renew my commitment to one thing I will ask. This only will I seek, to dwell in the house of the Lord and to gaze upon his beauty. Good days, bad days, ugly days, even pandemic days. Will you renew your commitment with me today to look upon life from within the temple in a brand new perspective? May you be renewed for the living of these days in a new perspective.